Today is a very special meeting. We've got Brian Knight from Pragmatic Works, one of the brightest, nicest people you will ever meet in your life, and Victoria Hapner, all talking about using technology in order to serve better and help with their processes. I'm really excited. We'll be posting a replay of this probably around noon today. Please circle back. You're going to want to share this with everybody. This will not disappoint, and never does. But anyways, really happy for today's session.
Thanks, Mark. And I was remiss, there may be people on here that I have not had the opportunity to meet yet. My name is Ernie Cohn. I represent two nonprofit agencies in Clay County, Clay Behavioral Health Center in Kitsworth, Florida. And again, welcome, welcome, welcome. So we want to get into our keynote speakers right now. We've got, as Mark mentioned, two pillars of the community here that have agreed to present and roll out some new programs here that many of you may not know about. First, I'd like to introduce Brian Knight, who is the CEO of Pragmatic Works, and his bride is on his shoulder. Thank you for the Knight family for being here. And he's also the president of the Clay County Soup Kitchen. So we appreciate all the work you do in the community, Brian. Take it away, my friend.
No problem. And I want to introduce my wife, Jennifer Knight, who is our vice president for the kitchen of Clay County. And I'll let her kind of talk about the kitchen of Clay County, and I'll talk about some software that we're building as well.
So I'm going to start out. Hi, I'm Jennifer, and I'm vice president of the kitchen of Clay County. And so we are back up and running. We were established back in 2009 and provided meals every Saturday to anybody who needed it. And we kind of had to refigure a little bit with COVID and everything, but we are back to serving. And so every Saturday from 11 to 1, we provide free bag lunches. It's a drive up kind of situation to keep everybody healthy and safe. And we are serving out of First Baptist of Orange Park, and then Middleburg United Methodist, and then Sacred Hearts Mission Church out in Green Cove. And we have volunteer churches that help us out every week. They kind of show up and, provide, our volunteer churches provide sandwiches or sandwich meat and cheese, and so and volunteers, and so they come out and we work and kind of serve the community. We kind of started out slow, but we're definitely seeing things grow. We are up to, I think, about 120 lunches last week, and so we are just kind of trying to get the word out that we're here, we're serving every week, and just trying to meet people's needs.
Cool. All right, thank you. So on the kitchen, we do have we're partnered with Waste Not Want Not as well for distribution of those foods. And the other thing we also mentioned, I'm going to share my screen real quick. I can find my screen. I think that's it right there. There we go. And I'll move you guys out of the way here also. So about 3 or 4 months ago, we started a project to find a way to reduce some of the any kind of abuse that might be in the system, but also find a way to allow recipients to find food pantries. Like right now, if you Google food pantry in Clay County, you get Ohio, and you'll get Tennessee or North Carolina, but you won't get anything in Clay County likely. So we wanted to find a way to kind of aggregate all the locations of where people that need assistance can find that, as well as help the food banks and food pantries log who's coming and help them keep track of the volunteers. For example, one of our food pantries in town has to spend about 6 to 8 hours creating Excel reports to report on the recipients that receive food, and send those to the state so they can help give back as well. So we started a project that we are about to launch here. I just want to kind of give you guys a preview of that project. It's called Project Pantry. And this was generally my way of kind of giving back to the community. It's free for any food bank, food pantry, anybody that wants to give, that wants this type of service to track recipients, to track volunteers, and to help get the word out. So, and it's projectpantry.org. is a website. Again, it's still a little bit beta right now, so it's a little bit fun sometimes as we're making changes to it. But just for example, we have these two pantries in here right now, where if I go to the food bridge of Middleburg, we can go ahead and register to be a volunteer or register to be a recipient. Likewise, and you can see the hours of operation, a map, and any kind of information that the food pantry is wanting us to see. Additionally, there is an option to where if I open up my phone here, okay, just bear with me 1 second while I mirror my phone. There we go. I just had it up and it decided to time out, I guess. All right, there it goes. So there's an app on the iPhone and Android store to where as soon as a person signs in with their credentials, whether it be Facebook, whether it be their own credentials, whether it be LinkedIn, whatever, they have the ability to go through and say, all right, I want to go ahead and look at Middleburg Food Bank. And I can go ahead and, again, become a recipient. I can register, receive food at that point. And when I'm at the food bank at that point, I can click on that visit food bank option. It gives me a barcode that then the food bank could then scan, and it logs that visit. So they can see what the impact of their mission is at that point. So those reports that they've been creating manually can be automated at that point. So they're not spending 8 hours a week having to produce those reports. On the back end also, as I register to be a volunteer, it will then go out and I will show up on a list for the administrator of the food bank, which is right over here. Excuse me. Go away, Zoom. There we go. Where I can see a list of all my volunteers, and these are just sample ones right now, any of my recipients, and I can create rules that say how often can somebody come to my food bank. They can visit every once a month, once every 2 days, whatever that rule is for you. They can define those rules and make sure that if a person comes multiple times, maybe try to game the system, that it will at least alert them that the person's trying to game the system, and then they can override it at that point. Additionally, you can create food bank networks to where the networks of Clay County can all join. So where if you are trying to avoid or trying to prohibit gaming of the system, you can say, all right, somebody can visit a network food bank once every X amount of time also, twice a week, once a week, whatever it might be. So again, if somebody goes to the food pantry of Green Cove Springs and goes over to Middleburg the same day, it will at least alert the Middleburg person they've already been to a pantry that day potentially. So that's all a free service. We're going to be launching this in the next few weeks. We're hoping for April 1st, no pun intended, to go ahead and launch. And this will be free for any participating food bank or food pantry, and then also free for the recipients as well. So that's a little bit about Project Pantry and the kitchen. Any questions on either one of those things?
Incredible.
Phenomenal stuff, Brian and Jennifer. I mean, this is just there's a tremendous need in the community for this. Does anybody have any questions for either Jennifer or Brian?
My contact info is in the chat window also. If anybody wants to be one of our early testers also, we'll add them as well in there and give them the handhold service as we kind of get this launched in April.
And I, do have a question. So I heard you say that launch is April 1st, meaning we cannot distribute this until then to our clients. Is that correct?
That's correct. So we're still testing it with some sample food banks right now to make sure that all the bugs are kicked out. So we'd hate to give it to somebody and then, I mean, it's on the Apple Store now. It's on the Google Store now. They can find it, but we want to make sure we be more gentle with the launch.
Yeah, no, this is a fantastic service. Thank you for putting this together for sure. It's definitely needed.
Hey, Jennifer and Brian, what drew you to this? I know there's a lot of causes out there. What was something about this that made you guys want to be involved more in this?
Well, I think when I recently sold our consulting company, we still have a training company, but we felt we've been very blessed. And at the same time, we're seeing these lines at the food banks and the need rise by 200% in some areas. And so we wanted to do some way to give back. So we decided to join the soup kitchens or the kitchen in Clay County, but also we wanted to do this as a technology way of trying to mitigate hunger also.
Great stuff. Any other questions before we let Jennifer and Brian off the hook?
Brian, this is Bob Cowie, Mercy Support Services. I also volunteer at the soup kitchen in Orange Park. Could you post something on the website that we could print and put around town to spread the word? We haven't had a great turnout in Orange Park yet.
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you.
Get on that, Brian. Do that like immediately. Anything else for the Knight family? Jen and Brian, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Excellent.
All right, so we will move on. There's another program that's being rolled out in the county. It's a countywide volunteer portal. And I think some of you have already heard about the County Emergency Rental Assistance Program. Victoria Hapner, who is the, let me get this right, Community and Social Services Manager in the county, will be presenting. Yeah. Are you with us, Vic?
I am. There I am. Hi. I think it was frozen. Okay. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
All right. Perfect. So I'm going to start off with the volunteer portal. We are actually getting ready to launch it live here in a week. So I'm very excited. I'm going to try to share my screen. Let's see. Okay, so this is what the new Clay County portal looks like. So this is what this side looks like when a volunteer logs in. So they log in, it tells them, you know, welcome. This is after they've signed in and registered. They're able to respond to an opportunity. So maybe they've been invited to something. They're able to browse programs that you guys would put onto the site. This is kind of a brief, quick view of it. Opportunities, and this programs, this is where your organization has the chance to put your information up. You get a landing page. It can tell who you are, what it is that you do, kind of what your causes are, how to get a hold of you, your location, your hours. You can even share videos and pictures. And there are more. If I had some actual opportunities up there, they would be kind of down here in this bottom. But I wonder if I can do. I'm still learning Zoom, so you'll have to. All right, so now this is what the back end looks like. So with this program, all agencies have the opportunity to register as a program in the volunteer site. It's very simple. You need to have, there are some specific requirements. You do have to put your contact information on there and how to get a hold of you. Those are my two main things, so that if people want to volunteer with you, they know how to get a hold of you outside of the volunteer portal. Because since I don't know the ins and outs, obviously my phone number will always be there, so the volunteers can reach out to me and we can vet them and all of that. But if they have site specific questions like, hey, I want to volunteer with this event that is going on, but I don't know where I check in, or whatever information they need. So that will be the main contact information, is like the most important thing. But it also gives you the opportunity, like I had shown on this page, it gives you the opportunity to tell everyone who you are. And so that's really important. Now, when I switch over to this other view, can you see this? Or is it just staying on the same page? Same page? All right, let me try to do this again. Like I said, I'm still learning. I'm like not technologically savvy at all. Okay, let's see, okay, so this is the back end. So this is what you guys will see as site manager. So as you have put your program in, you have the opportunity to see all of your programs. If you've had events, how many hours your volunteers have served, what opportunities do you have available? You can update your qualifications. So one of the things, if you have a a need that you've put out there that you need volunteers to help with, you can put specific qualifications, because maybe you're looking for somebody to help build a ramp at a home. You're going to want to make sure that those volunteers that come and assist are qualified to do the work that you need. You can view the responses, the scheduling. You can create different teams. So if you are a faith-based organization and you have different groups within your church that do different things, you can create these teams. So then you know, okay, this is my group that normally does go out and do the building projects. I'm just going to tag this in this opportunity. So there's a lot of organizational options on the site. And then you can see the users as well. You have the opportunity to communicate to your volunteers through the site. So you can do email blasts, notifications, things like that. This is how you can update your content, and you can do surveys and that sort of thing as well. So this site gives you the opportunity, to manage your volunteers, to see the hours, to have your volunteers come in. It works as a virtual sign-in sheet as well. So when you have a large event, instead of collecting all of the names on, paper and just having to go back and input them, which you can still do, this has the opportunity to be turned on and used as a virtual sign-in sheet as well. And it collects it all, and you can run reports straight from this site. All right, so I'm going to stop with that. That's kind of, it's a very basic general volunteer software, but it is free for Clay County organizations to use. They do have to be vetted through me and my staff. We just want to make sure that you are who you say you are. So it just takes maybe a week or two to get your approval, and then the site is free for you guys to use. You can link us to your website and allow your volunteers to sign in there. And then the nice thing is that once a volunteer is in the software, they actually can see all of you guys. So we will help each other. I have a large volunteer group that I've imported. So I've imported like 1,200 volunteers already that are sitting there waiting for other groups to come in and put opportunities on the site. So I might have a volunteer at the library that is really into assisting with something else, and they'll see an opportunity that you guys post. And so that also helps us gather volunteers, and we can all work together and create this huge volunteer community where we're helping Clay County. So I'm very excited.
I have a question, Victoria.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about background checks?
Yes, so there's a couple options for background checks. So Clay County, we do require our volunteers to be background checked. So once our volunteers are in the system that are over 18, they are background checked. We do the FDLE background screenings. I run them myself, and we cover that cost. So the volunteers that come through our portal are background checked as well. And once they're in there, so.
A question in the chat from Michaela asking, how do we begin the verification process for our organization?
Yeah, so the site will go live next week. Again, kind of like Brian was mentioning, we're just working out a couple bugs to make sure. And once I have that all live, I will send out a blast email, and I can have, we can send it out on the Clay Safety email if that's okay. And it'll have some instructions on how to begin. It's really easy. So under the link that says register as a volunteer, there's just another tab that says I want to register my organization, and they put in all of their information. It comes to me, and like I said, it takes about a week just because I have to give myself some time to look through everything, and then they can begin. And I will also be hosting a training for all of the program managers that register their site. So after I see kind of how many we have, we'll work together and we'll do a site training so that the managers then actually know how to use the system. So I'm not just throwing them out into the wind. Here you go. Here's a program. Good luck. So yeah, I see. I will post my contact information, yes, in the chat. I'll do that in just a moment. Does anyone else have any questions about the volunteer information? If not, I will move on to rental assistance.
Mark, were you raising your hand?
I have a quick question. One, what is the website URL going to be? And secondly, will there be a front-facing calendar that aggregates all the different events into one so that if I have an extra 2 hours on Friday, I can say, oh, I want to pick this one or that one?
Yes, so that first, so it's volunteers, and I can put this in the site, or volunteer.claycountygov.com. That will be the site. It'll also be linked on our main volunteer site on the government website. And I can put that in the chat when I put my contact information. And then the first page that I saw when you open it up, so you've registered as a volunteer, and I believe even before you register, we can highlight. So it has the calendar on the main page when you log in, and if you fan pages, so if you have an organization that you like, it will show those first, but you can just look at a calendar view and see everything that's going on in Clay County and pick what you like. So if you have, a couple hours on a Friday, or you're sitting around on a Saturday with nothing to do and you want to find some volunteer work, you can just open the calendar up and see. You can also see the map too. So that's really important. And I'll go over that in the training, but to put the address of where you're going to be doing the volunteer work, because then they can also look at a map view and say, okay, I know I live in Green Cove and I want to do something in Green Cove. So it'll kind of, map it all together so they don't have to drive across the county if they don't want to. But yeah, it'll give that opportunity to have the whole calendar of everything going on. And one of the other things that we have, so if you guys have a large event that's going on that you want to kind of focus on, or maybe it's a fundraiser event that you need volunteers for, or it's a large scale event that you really want to start recruiting volunteers for, we can actually put them on the main page. We can do a banner or a slideshow that will feature specific programs that are happening as well. So there's a lot of options.
Great, thank you.
I'm sorry, this is Anna with Clay Behavior. Would you mind just throwing out that website again, just real quick?
Yeah, it's volunteer.claycountygov.com.
Thank you.
Victoria. If you go there, it might actually show you the site, but it won't. If you try to register now, it will maybe allow you to register, but I won't see it on my back end for another week.
Okay, thanks so much.
Victoria, I just put in the chat, is this more for one and done in a day, or if we needed like a volunteer respite care coordinator that would be time, something over time? Is it for both?
Both.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yep, you can have reoccurring volunteers. So yeah, if you have a volunteer, that staff member that you use that you want to have as a reoccurring, you can use that. Or if you have one and done events, you can use that for that as well.
Hey, Cal, before Victoria moves on, is there any more in the chat? Any questions at all?
This is Taria. I have a question, Victoria. Will the system track volunteer hours?
Yes. Yeah, okay. You'll be able to track hours, and it gives you, there's actually a couple options. You can track group hours. So if your organization with maybe a Boy Scout troop or Girl Scout troop, you can track them as a group, or you can track them as individuals. And so for those of you that assist the students that are looking for Bright Futures hours, you can run your reports and show them, okay, you've got your 100 or 150 hours, and print the report straight from the program.
I don't see any other questions in the chat right now.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next, Victoria, next.
Okay, so next is the Emergency Rental Assistance Program. So Clay County received $6.6 million from the federal government to assist in rental arrears, utility arrears. So that covers water, electric, and it also now includes internet services. And so as long as the applicant falls within 80% of the Clay County AMI. So currently the average median income in Clay County is $75,000 a year. So if the family falls within 80% of that based on the number of household members, then they qualify. And they have to be a renter. So right now that's what we're focusing on. The rescue plan was just passed, which will give us some more funding and there's also some more opportunities for it to expand as far as what we can cover. But currently it's rent and utilities, including internet services. So I'm going to share this flyer, and I have lots of copies of these, and I'll send the PDF version. But if you come, we have a meeting tonight in Orange Park at 6:30 to go over the program. So here's our little flyer, and to qualify, so you do have to be a resident of Clay County. You have to be responsible for rent on a resident, like a dwelling here in Clay County. They do ask that one or more adult has had some kind of effect from COVID. So you've experienced some kind of reduction of income, loss of income, some sort of effect of COVID-19 from March 2020 until now, and then having that annual household income of 2020 under the 80% AMI. And we are actually using the HUD guideline for that, so their chart that they have. The most important thing, this program asks for a ton of documentation. So one of the things that we have to make sure, and this is great for all of you organizations, that you can help these people make sure they can gather these things. They have to have a current ID. And this is the biggest issue that we run into. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't update their IDs when they move. And so their state ID has to match the residence that they're claiming rent on. So one of the things that we're encouraging people is if you haven't updated your ID, do it now. And if you just do an address change, it's not as expensive as a renewal. So hopefully we can get that done quickly. They have to provide a current lease agreement, and we do need that full lease agreement. I'm not going to be picky, guys. If somebody comes to me and their lease is one page, Victoria Hapner, rent from Ernie Cohen at this amount each month, and we both sign it, that's a lease agreement to me. Good to go. I'm going to try to get this money out to the people that need it. So I'm not going to be nitpicky. I don't care if they went to and did it in front of a lawyer or they wrote it on a piece of paper. If it's a lease agreement, it's a lease agreement to me. So, but we do have to have something. And then income verification, 2020 tax returns, W-2s, 3 months worth of pay stubs for every member of the household that's over the age of 18. If they have no income, so let's say they're not on unemployment because maybe they just currently lost their job, or they can't get their W-2s or their pay stubs or whatever because the business that they had worked for no longer exists because they shut down due to COVID. We have a self-attestation form that they can fill out claiming zero income or explaining the reason why they can't provide their income verification. So we're trying to work around as much as we can, of course. Proof of all of the identity of the children in the household, so birth certificate, social security card, passport, proof of enrollment in school here in Clay County would work. If they are asking for past utilities, we just need those past due statements. The documentation for the hardship related to COVID is just a quick little thing on part of the application itself. So there is a landlord verification form / tenant permission form. So they're separate on here, but they're actually just one form. So this program really encourages landlords and tenants to work together because we are supposed to directly pay the landlord versus the tenant. So with proof that the money has been accredited to that account, the tenant's account, and there's a lot of verification steps that we have to do, but it's important that they work together. So the permission slip pretty much says that the tenant's like, yes, I agree that the landlord can apply on my behalf. Or if the tenant is applying, that the landlord agrees to receive money from the county. if they will not work together, there is a process where we can then just pay the tenant directly, but it does extend the time of when they can get their money. So we are required by the federal government to attempt to reach the landlord 3 times, phone call, email, letter, and we have 14 days a waiting process, and then we can begin that process of the application. So really trying to encourage them to work with their landlords, kind of a team effort to get the money, get them paid and current, because if not, it just takes longer. So we want to try to get them the money as quickly as possible. And then we do need either late rent statements, or we have a balance statement form, because I know a lot of people, when they're late, they don't necessarily get a bill from the landlord that says, here, you're late this month. So a balance statement that is signed by the landlord that says, yes, they were late, June, July, and August. So we can cover, currently our program is covering 3 months of back rent. And okay. So we're covering 3 months of back rent and 3 months of past utilities. So water, electric, or internet services. And we will take all of the data. So the application opens on Monday, this coming Monday, the 22nd at 10 a.m. It's online. You can find it under the alert.claycountygov.com website. We have a tab, and they can begin applying on Monday. We will gather all of the data that we have from the applications on Monday and Tuesday and take it to our board Tuesday night. And there is the opportunity to then expand the program. So the program allows us to pay up to 12 months past rent and 3 months of future rent. So if they can show I'm current, but I'm struggling financially, we actually have the opportunity that we could possibly pay 3 months into the future. And I do think that's going to come up on Tuesday, because that has been a big question at our community meetings. Hey, I've worked really hard. I've practically gone into debt to keep my rent current because I don't want to lose my home, because I have children and all of whatever their situation is. But now I am behind on everything else. So I see that as a necessary need, that those 3 months of future payments could really make a difference in a family's life. So that's definitely something that will be coming up on Tuesday's board meeting. And we have, like I said, we have the opportunity to expand the program. And then with the new rescue rental assistance that came in, we also have homelessness stabilization opportunities. So I don't have all the guidance from the federal government yet, but what that is being able to pay those first month's rent, those deposits that are required to get families into homes so that they are not experiencing homelessness, and that we're getting them into a place. So whether that's because they have rented a place that is too expensive and we're going to get them into a cheaper place that fits their family, or they were homeowners and they're experiencing an eviction and they need to now get in a rental, whatever it is, we also have that opportunity as well. But still waiting on the final, who will distribute the funds for the homeless stabilization. So that would be through our county program, but right now that is the new rescue fund that we've not received guidance for. That will probably be available more in the next coming months. So the federal government likes to change all their rules too. So we might, in 2 weeks have a different program. So, but currently, like I said, we're covering those 3 months of past due rent and 3 months of utilities, open on Monday, and hopefully we can help a lot of Clay County residents. And there's no cap. One of the questions too that have come up, there's no cap on the rent itself. So a family that was in a home that charged $1,200 of rent can get that covered, and the same as a family that paid $750 of rent. Because one of the issues that I tried to mitigate was, like, we don't want, if we just capped it at like, okay, we're only going to do $3,000. Well, that's not very helpful to somebody that pays $1,500 of rent, but could be very helpful to somebody who pays cheaper. So we're hoping that by just using the month or a time frame, it'll assist the families better in a more equal way.
Kelly, you see anything else in chat for Victoria?
No other questions.
Okay, anybody else have any other questions for Victoria on either project? You're a busiest woman in America, Hapner. I'm telling you, you got a lot going on today.
Yeah, so Monday, I encourage everyone to send me positive messages and vibes and all those prayers and everything.
That's great. And I see there's a chat that just came through. The rent paid will be up to the amount on the charts.
So the rent that we will be covering, so we're actually not so HUD has, I'm going to assume, Melissa, that you're asking about the HUD rental caps, and we are not following that. Okay. So we aren't following the rental caps just because somebody that was affected by COVID, last year may not have been in that qualification as far as their HUD guidelines, and so their rent might have been more because they didn't meet the cap. So we're not following the cap. So if somebody has a family of 5 and they're above that $1,300 a month, then that's, we're going to cover that.
You guys are like rule breakers. We're not doing their guidelines. That's right.
Hey, you know what? When they leave it broad, I take it to my own interpretation. I'm going to make it work for Clay County.
That's fantastic. Any other questions at all for Victoria? Victoria, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Of course. And I'll put all of my contact information in the chat, as well as the hotline number for the rental assistance. So you can call my staff and they can answer any other questions that they have. And if you have questions about the volunteer portal, you can call me and I'll answer that as well.
And make sure you put your personal cell in there too, so we can call you in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I'll put my work cell, which gets turned off. I have to have those boundaries.
I hear you. All right. So thanks again, Victoria. We appreciate you.
Of course.
I'm not sure if Jennifer and Brian are on still, but if they are, thank you guys as well. Great stuff. I want to kick it back over to Mark Carillon.
Hey. One of my favorite parts of our meeting, as most of you know, is the Meet the Need section. So if you have a particular need, please shout it out. Also make certain to put the need in the chat. Maybe you need volunteer hours, or maybe you need somebody to come paint a wall, or maybe your neighbor next door had a unfortunate fire situation and you're looking for furniture. Whatever your need is, shout it out. And if you know the answer to that person's need, please pay attention, because we've had some really nice needs met throughout this process. So if you have a particular need, shout it out. And if you can help, shout that out. Thank you.
All right. So would I be rude in being first?
No, go for it.
All right. So as I said, I represent both Clay Behavioral Health Center and Kids First of Florida. I know COVID's been tough on everybody, but on the kids, on the foster kids and the adopted kids and their families, it's been especially challenging, as well as people dealing with mental health and substance abuse issues. So we're running a campaign right now for both agencies where it's give the families a break. And the whole thing is gift cards for these families to get them to dinner, to movies, to bowling, to anything that would be fun to change their normal routine. So we're asking the community for $25 gift cards to give to these families. If you've got it in your heart, I know a lot of people are getting hit up for financial stuff right now, but if you've got it in your heart to maybe donate a gift card or two to these families that have really been struggling for the last year, for any kind of entertainment, to get them out of the house and get them out of their normal routine, that would be great. If you don't have the time to buy a gift card, if you want to just give me the cash, I'm happy to go get the gift card and give you guys credit for that. So just keep that in mind. We're running the campaign for the next 60 to 90 days. So I appreciate you at least listening to me. And if anybody's out there that's got that in their heart, that would be phenomenal.
Who else has a need? Bashful group.
Orange Park Head Start Episcopal Children's Services just posted a need in the chat.
there's not any other needs, I know, Ernie, there's a question in the chat for you. How do we get the cards? And yes, Orange Park Head Start posted that they need help with the garden and painting inside the classroom.
Who asked about the cards, Callan?
Heather McDonald.
Heather McDonald, what's up, girl? You can either call me or text me, or I'll come to you, or whatever. I'll make it as easy as possible for you, Heather. Thank you, though.
The person that's looking for help with the garden, if you call the Clay County Extension, they're looking for projects, because with COVID, they had to cancel a lot of their projects they were having with schools and things like that. So Clay County Extension, they're located in Green Cove Springs, but they'll go just about anywhere in the county. And I'll try to find their contact information and put it in the chat.
Right, and Alyssa Jordan with Quigley House just wants help spreading the word about the wine gala that they're having. It's a fundraiser for Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and she'll post the flyer. It's on April 17th.
Great. Well, you can continue to, here comes another one.
So Tara Singletary with CHS is the Family and Community Engagement Coordinator. Need CPS Keystone Heights High School store spending donation funds towards snacks and drinks, but we're in need of higher token items, cell phone chargers, power banks, earbud cases, sports items, anything you think 7th to 12th grade students may want to reward them for positive behavior, good attendance, and good grades. And AMI kids may also be able to help with the gardening as well. So just FYI to the Episcopal Head Start, check the chat to get touch base with Deborah Bowman. And then check out the Facebook page or website for Quigley for that information about the event coming up.
Hey, everybody, too, I want to let you know there's a section at the end of this meeting where we actually will be talking about events that you guys are having, so we can get to that at that point.
Great. Well, you can continue to post these, and been fortunate to have Andre taking the entire chat content and then summarizing it and putting that out as an email blast as well. So you'll get another opportunity to see all of this content, which is fantastic. I also wanted to just put in a plug regarding Victoria's presentation, a plug for Clay County government. Clay County routinely rises to the very top of the list in the state for performance for programs such as what she has described. And this goes all the way back to last year's CARES Act administration. And we just have an amazing administration in our county government that that one rarely sees. So hats off to everyone at Clay County for the efforts that they're doing. Shall we hit the project and network updates with Callan?
Sounds good. So we're going to start off with the Clay Health Department update. So is Sydney or another representative on the line?
Hi, Callan, I'm here.
Hey.
So same stuff going on. We're still doing vaccination efforts. Clay County is going above and beyond here. The governor recently, starting on the 15th, expanded his executive order. So we're now able to vaccinate individuals 60 and older. If you have a medical condition, we can also vaccinate you, but we need the correct form from a physician, K through 12 teachers, fire rescue, police department, or other law enforcement officials. If you are over 50, we can also vaccinate you. So he's opening it up more and more. We're staying busy, and we're hoping, in the coming months, we can reach, a majority of the people in our county. And that's all we got over here.
Thank you, Sydney. I just want to quickly see, Anne, I see you have a hand up. Did you have a question for Sydney? No? Okay, just checking. All right, our next update is from the Clay Action Coalition. So Stephanie Gohagen. Is Stephanie there?
I'm not sure I saw her on, Cal.
Yeah, I didn't think I saw her. Okay, I'm going to skip them for now. The behavioral health update from Irene.
All right, so Irene just texted me. She's having technical problems. So she's asking me to let everybody know that there's the work groups that are sponsored by the Health Planning Council and Department of Health. There's a mental health work group, and there's going to be an update coming soon and a meeting coming soon, and there'll also be forming committees to address specific issues of behavioral health in the community. Sydney, she said you may have a date for that next meeting. Do you have one yet at all or no?
I don't think I have a specific date. It's going to be sometime April, May. So we have ours on a quarterly basis. And if you're interested in joining that work group, I know Irene and I are always welcome to new faces. So just reach out to me. I can put my email in the chat and we can get you on that distribution list.
Yeah, why don't you do that, Sid? Thank you.
Of course.
And also, I know Irene would want me to tell you that there's no health without mental health. So keep that in mind, and thank you for all your support for both agencies. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Ernie. So I'm going to go ahead and share the update for the Nonprofit Center. Just keep in mind that the Nonprofit Center is here to serve nonprofits, and we do have a special, series of programs that we offer to Clay County nonprofits specifically, and those are always open and free to Clay County nonprofit staff, volunteers, and board members. And the first of those programs is actually kicking off this year, next month in April. So on April 20th, we're going to be having a Resilience 101 program. So that's really around thinking through things like risk management and what does it mean to think through threats and opportunities, things like a COVID-19 pandemic and how you can stay kind of ahead of the curve with your organization. So I'll post a link to our Clay County programs in the chat, and then just let me know if you have any questions at all. I'll put my contact info in there as well. And after that, it looks like we have the Impact Clay update from Gabrielle Gunn.
Good morning, everyone. Gabrielle Gunn with Impact Clay. A quick update for a couple of our projects that we're currently working on. One of the projects, 100+ Women Who Care About Clay County, is going to be having their first quarterly meeting to support nonprofits. If you'd like to go to their website or to their Facebook page to find out more information, it's 100+ Women Who Care About Clay. At this meeting, it's going to be on April 15th at 7 o'clock, and I will put the information in the chat. We would love all of the support that we can get from any of the women in Clay County. And then the second project, Mercy Auto, is going to be having a presentation about their organization at Mercy Support Services on at the end of March, and I'll put that information in there as well. And at this meeting, they will be presenting and answering questions about how you all with the Clay SafetyNet can partner with them to meet the needs of transportation within the county to individuals and residents. And so if you have any questions or would like more information, don't hesitate to reach out to me, but you can also go to their Facebook page and website, Mercy Auto Charitable Foundation, and get more information about that. Thanks, Callan.
Gabby. Okay, so next up is the AHEC update. Is Trish on?
I'm here. I'll be giving the update for AHEC.
Hey there.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So I just wanted to share, because last time I didn't do this update, but AHEC, we have 2 programs that are going to be starting this summer. So the first program, it starts in June on the 21st, and this is for college students, and it's the University of Florida College of Medicine program. So it's the Explore Careers in Health. It's for anyone that is a sophomore or junior in college. And I know they get like a stipend. I'm not over the program, so I'm getting like an overview of it. But I know they get a stipend for it. They also get set up at different health fairs that we are attendees at. We paired them with different internships that they could do. So I'll put the information in the chat. That way I can get that out to anybody that would be interested in that program and sharing that. And the second program we have, this is for our high school students, and it's the Health Career Exploration Tours. That one starts in July. So it's pretty much for the whole month of July. So it runs from the 6th through the 28th. And with this one, we basically take them around to different clinics, different organizations, show them different aspects of it. Due to COVID, it probably will be virtual again this year because it was virtual last year. But this is also a free program as well. And it's open to any high school student that is a freshman, sophomore, or junior. And they don't have to have like an extravagant GPA. I believe the GPA minimum is a 2.5. For that program. So if anybody would like information about that, I could get that to you as well. We are still doing trainings for healthcare professionals. So if you know of anyone or if you have a license that's getting ready to come up that needs to be renewed, we are offering free CE credits for that. So we have trainings available. And we still do have the free senior programs for anyone 60 and over. And this is not just for Clay County residents. This is open, we have 7 counties. So this is open to Duval, Nassau, Baker, Flagler, St. Johns, Volusia County as well. And we're still looking for some more spaces in Clay County to hold our free cessation classes, tobacco cessation classes. We don't need a large space. It could be a small space, just a space to hold about 3 to 5 people. So if you know of a space or if you have a space, please reach out to me and let me know. But that's all the updates for AHEC.
Thank you so much, Monique. Okay, so I'm going to throw it over to Andre now to give us an update from Clay Transit. Andre?
You look, Andre, you look shocked. Are you all right?
He's on mute.
I'm not sure that's correct.
I can give a brief explanation for this update. As you know, public transportation in Clay County has had its ups and downs, and they've just announced that they're going to have a dedicated bus line stop to the VA clinic on College Drive. So this is a service that's designed to serve veterans who need to get to the new clinic, which just opened a few months ago. What it also opens up is the incredible excitement about all the things that are going on College Drive in terms of community and social services. Things like Mercy Services acquiring their new building and their project to build transitional and affordable housing, and the Pace Center for Girls opening their campus on College, and the Way Free Clinic breaking ground on a headquarters free medical clinic. And the list seems to go on and on. And there's a group of private and public individuals who are currently meeting to brainstorm on how to make College Drive a destination for people to get services that they need, and also a destination to build on the strength of the College and Thrasher Horn Center as a cultural element, major cultural element in Clay County. So a lot of exciting things going on.
All right, well, that's all the updates then.
Back over to Ernie.
All right. So this is the time of the meeting, folks, where if you've got any information, any events coming up that you want to share about your organization or your company that you want to make people aware of, this would be the time. If I can, I am going to kick it off. Vietnam Veterans of America, in partnership with the county, is doing their annual Vietnam Veterans Recognition Ceremony, and it's actually going to be live and in person. So we're excited about that. It's I know many of you are familiar with the Taps Monument in Green Cove on Walnut Street, which is located in the historic triangle by the old courthouse and the old jail there, which is where that monument is. That's where it's going to be. It's going to be on Saturday morning, March 27th. So a week from Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning. Social distancing guidelines will be in effect. Masks are recommended, but not required, but it's going to be totally outside. Usually this event, we usually have 200 to 300 people. So it'll be interesting to see how many show up this time. Phenomenal event for those of you that are veterans or have veterans in your family, whether they're Vietnam veterans or not. Everybody's going to be recognized there. So if you support the military and you want to be a part of that, I have the honor and the privilege of emceeing that. So it's a good event and a fun event. And if we can get a big crowd there, that would be great. Again, March 27th, Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. Anybody else have any events or anything they want to share about their company or their organizations, anything coming up?
Yeah, Ernie, if I could speak for a second. This is Joe Pellegrino. Many of you know me. You've been on the radio show and whatnot. I have a couple events coming up. The events I've been doing outside have been going well. People have been wearing masks. Some have, some not, but keeping their distance. We were able to help Spring Park raise $1,000 for the Quigley House last week or the week before. And Market in the Park in Green Cove is this Saturday. It's every third Saturday. And I also have an event, another market across from Fleming Island High School on April 3rd. The reason why I'm bringing this up is if anybody wants to raise money for your event or advertise people to come out to your event or to help your business, anytime you see me in an event, I'll be more than happy to advertise the needs for any type of a nonprofit, or if it benefits the well-being of our first responders or whatever it may be. So I just wanted to throw it out there, and I'll do it for free. So if anybody has needs, that's where I'm at. You can also follow me on Facebook. Thanks for giving me the time, y'all.
Thanks, Joe. Anybody else have anything they want to share with the group?
Ernie, I have a few things.
Of course you do.
Thanks for the opportunity, everyone. Good morning. The Shepherd Center will be starting our new Adventures in Learning session, which will be running for 6 weeks, beginning the week of April 12th. We're offering close to 20 classes via the Zoom platform. We market to seniors 55 and plus, but there's a lot of interesting classes that may pertain to someone else who is housebound, a caregiver, maybe somebody who has some disabilities that can't get out of the home. So it's on Zoom, very affordable, $30 for the session. You can check it out at our website, www.tscoop.org. And we also have our 14th annual Golden Years Gala coming up on May the 5th. The wonderful Ernie Cohen will be emceeing this event. We have lots of great sponsors. We are selling tickets. It's $50. The event is at 8:30 in the morning. And we will be honoring 6 seniors in the community who have volunteered. And we're just real excited about this event and hope to see you there. If you have any questions, reach out to me.
Fabulous.
Hi, this is Deborah from AMI Kids. We actually, as you guys know, we've been searching for some property to put our school because we have to move from behind Clay High School. Well, thank God we do have some we have a new home coming, and we also have a fundraiser, our major fundraiser, which will go to helping build out this new school for our boys. Our fundraiser is June the 17th. It will be at Sacred Heart Sullivan Hall. So I know it's a little ways out, but more information will come for sure. Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Thank
Deb.
you.
Christy, I think I don't know if anybody else had technical problems. Did you get all your stuff in? I think I got knocked off for a second.
I think I did. I didn't hear from anybody else, but if you have questions, I'm happy to answer.
Did everybody hear from the end of Christy's presentation? Okay.
We heard it all. Good morning, all. This is Patrick Hale with Mercy Support Services. On May 7th, we will host our 4th annual Jack Myers Champion for Mercy golf tournament. And we're still looking for some players. This year, it looks like it's gonna be at Eagle Landing instead of Eagle Harbor. But we're still looking for some players. So call Mercy or go to our website.
Thanks, Patrick. Anybody else?
Hi, Ernie. This is Joyce Case from the Health Planning Council. I just want to remind everybody that open enrollment is happening right now. It's a special COVID emergency open enrollment. It started February 15th. It runs through May 15th. There, people can enroll without having a special enrollment need like a life event. There's also, come April 1st, additional funds will be available to help reduce even further the tax credit that people are eligible for. So people who are currently enrolled in the marketplace can go into the marketplace and update their application and get even more tax credits towards their paying their premiums. So if people have any questions about how to do that or want more information, I'll leave my information in the chat, but just want to let everybody know about that.
Joyce, my friend, I have a quick one. Are you saying that if someone wanted to make a shift and has their own insurance that they don't have to wait until December to do that with the special qualifying deal?
That's correct. So if somebody, Sweet. Yeah, so if somebody enrolled last fall and the plan that they have is not meeting their needs, the only time that you can change those plans is during open enrollment. And so this is this special open enrollment. So if you have a plan that's not working for you, you can change it. Now, the one thing that's important about that is if you've made any advancement towards your deductible or your maximum out of pocket, you lose that. So you have to weigh that odds, because if you're really close to your maximum out of pocket, that plan is going to turn into 100% coverage. So you really don't want to throw that away. So it just depends on where you've moved. But if you've had somebody that's enrolled and also need additional tax credits to help them pay for their health insurance, this is the time to do it. And after April 1, there'll be even more tax credits.
Very good. Anybody else have anything they want to share? All right, so before I kick it back to Don, I just want to thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you taking the time out every month. Our next meeting is going to be, the meetings are always the third Thursday of each month at 8:30. Next month, it's on the 15th. So April 15th at 8:30. I got a feeling we're moving closer to live meetings, hopefully, but I'm sure the next meeting will be Zoom as well. So thank you again for being here. Enjoy, and I'll kick it back to Don.
Thanks so much, Ernie. Another great meeting, and these meetings are great because of participation that we have from all of you. So thank you all so much for joining us and contributing. Excellent. I would love to kick it over to Patrick Hale for a closing.
Thank you, Don. it's been a wonderful meeting. I mean, as Don said earlier, there's so many great things happening in Clay County, and it looks like we're the cream of the crop as far as counties go in Florida. And I truly believe that. Thank each and every one of you for all that you do every day to make Clay County such an awesome place to live and work. And good to see you, Joe Pellegrino.
Good to see you too, sir.
Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Father, we absolutely thank you for what we've heard today. We thank you for Brian and Jennifer Knight and what they are doing in the community, Lord. We thank you for bringing Victoria to this community, and she has been such a blessing since she has been here. We thank you for what we have heard coming from the county and how that will help each and every one of us who are in the service business. Father, we just bless your name this morning and thank you for the leadership here. Thank you for all that you are doing and the wisdom you're giving us to make this such a great place to be. We pray that we are able to help each one who has a need, and that Clay will be known more for its compassion than anything else, Lord God. We thank you for this time and pray that you'll guide us through the rest of this day and keep us, Lord. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
So Don, just before we close, I would just like to appeal to everyone to please, once again, be advocates to get any of your partners and anyone that you think needs to be at these meetings to like our Facebook page and to send email addresses for people who you think should be on our database. Anyone who you think should receive the information that we send out, please send it to info@claysafetynet.org or to Andre@claysafetynet.org. Countywide communication is a crucial component to have a healthy, well-coordinated county. So this is very important. We just want to ask each one of you to be an advocate for a countywide communication platform. And Clay SafetyNet is one of the emerging platforms for that. So thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you, Andre. Well, without further ado, I think we can let ourselves out a few minutes early today, unless anyone has anything else.
Just don't end until I've saved the file.
Okay. So we will adjourn until next month. And that next meeting is April 15. And it's not tax day this year, apparently. So all the best to everyone, and thank you again for coming.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a wonderful day, everybody.
All right, Don, I think I have it.
Great.
Let me just double check. Desktop documents. Yeah, I got it. Thank you so much.
Fabulous.
I'll get it out probably today.
Great. And I'll get out the raw links as usual.
Yeah. All right. This is good stuff.
I can keep this open if you need me to keep it open as I.
Let me just double check.
I can make you the host, and then you can take your time just to make sure.
I think I have it, Don. I think I have it.
Right.
Yep, I think I have it. 318. Yeah, I do. I have it.
Right.
I appreciate it, sir. That's
Thank you.
great. Yeah, we'll get this out. I'll get this out right away.
All right,
All right, sir. Thank you.
ready.